So it is a great pleasure for us to meet with Tobias Quandt. He is here with us here in Fronteira, and we have got to take this chance to talk about the X-Ride, and in this case, because you are the team manager from X-Ride, and the first question obviously must be about this 2018. Let's talk about it. How was it? Because the season has already ended, right?
Yes, actually the FIA races have finished, so we had our last race just 4 weeks ago here in Portugal, Porto Alegre, which we finished first and second position. It was actually really nice and impressive result of Nani. The whole season was tough. It was long this year, many races, but also new races like Turkmenistan, which was actually not so bad, I have to say.
Oh, I'm sure. And now we have the time for Dakar 2019. You have started preparing it in the driver's mode, as to say, in the driver's, where have you started making the right choices to pick up the good drivers that are available?
It started actually quite early this year.
Okay.
We started already discussion just after Dakar, so in spring, pre-summer, something like this, say April. We started actually already discussing, but finalized everything as usual only in autumn, which was a pity. But
okay.
Time passes so quickly and there are so many parties involved, so it takes quite a long of time.
But the negotiations were easy because you have the best car? And the best drivers want the best cars, like that?
It's never easy, I have to say.
Okay.
Of course, the car is good, yes, and our team is good, I have to say, but it's always hard in the end, and it takes some time to find a perfect match.
Okay. Talking about Dakar, what are your expectations for this edition, this 2019?
To be honest, I think Dakar 2019 will be a really tough one, because Peru, we know from last year, it's not easy at all. The stages are sometimes really difficult and tricky. And of course we have a good setup this year, I have to say, with our 3 buggies and then our 5 4x4 minis. So it's a good team, I have to say. But on the other side, top 3 is our target. Hopefully more, but it will be difficult anyways.
And do you think, like we have talked about it with Flip, you think that the first steps, the 3 first steps will be the ones that will define all the Dakar, because they usually are the very toughest, the first stages? Last year it was.
Yes, last year it was absolutely. The first 3 were the most difficult one, but what I heard now already, that the second half will probably the more difficult one, and the decision will be made in the second half, which can be because we will be in the same area as last year, the first 3. So I think it will be quite in the end decided, but it will be tough.
And how about the cars and the changes it was needed? Do you think they are, for the moment, they are completely fit for this edition? Because you said they are most toughest and lower toughest, as to say.
Yeah, of course we did our best, and I think we are really well prepared on the driver's side and on the...
Okay, nice one. Okay. It will be fine. I will make the interview all by myself. Thank you very much for the staff. Thank you. They have ruined my work. Okay. Team is in good mood. As I see, the team is in good mood. Okay. But about the car and the preparation for this season?
We are really well prepared. And actually going to be ready, or we are ready. The last things are getting sent now next week to Peru, and it looks good.
And about the drivers, what do you think can be making the difference between them? Because they are the top drivers, they are the best drivers, we can say it. But for winning in Dakar, which could be the difference between them that will allow the victory?
That's a difficult one. I have to say our drivers in general are very different. Like we have a continuous driver, we have one which is pushing all the time, we have some bit slower, but in the end I think it's a mix, because it depends on so many factors. Of course it's one side the car, on the other side the drivers, the tracks and so on. So there are many influences on this to have the best result.
Okay, let's talk about the post-Dakar. Yeah. How is going to be the next season? FIA?
Yes, FIA, but I next year I don't think we will start in Russia, like team-wise. We will start only probably for Dubai or Abu Dhabi, so quite late. But we're looking forward for the next season for sure.
And the cars will be the same but adapted for the rules for this year? The only difference is that?
Yes. Yeah, actually we modified on the two-wheel drive, on the buggy we modified a lot. We improved many things. And on the 4x4 actually we have a completely new engine development, cooling, and weight-wise we did some better improvements. So I think in total the package is quite good on both sides.
Okay. And in your personal side, as to say, what is your view for the future in the TT, as to say, the all-terrain? In your opinion, will go in the next years?
That's actually a really good topic because in the last few years it has changed a lot, I have to say. We moved to many new countries, new places. In Europe actually the attraction of TT went a bit down, except, funny enough, Portugal, Spain, but in the rest actually it went quite down. At the moment, even on the FIA side, there's Jutta Kleinschmidt involved to improve all this TT stuff again. To push it, to get a new step, new evolution of it, because in the end it's a really nice sport. As you can see here, even on a 24-hour race, you're outside, you have some different terrain, you have lots of people being interested, but you have to make it attractive again. And this is the big change which has to be done in the next years.
And you think that it's inevitable for the Dakar to return to Europe, or you think that market is a good justification to keep it there?
Personally, I think for the media and for everything, South America is a perfect place at the moment to be. But long-term wise, good question. I think they will move at some point back towards Africa. But I think it's not in the next 5 years, personally, I think.
And outside all-terrain, where do you see X-Ride? Only doing all-terrain, or are you looking for other sports, as to say in motorsport, in other categories? No?
No, at the moment TT is actually our one and only, and we love this motorsport so much, so we stick to it.
Okay, and there's no chance for turning, for example, for the side vehicle? Because we see they are increasing the numbers there in Dakar, for example.
Yeah. No, this will be probably a side business for the next future, we will see, but at the moment too much interest, but we started something, but let's see how it goes.
Okay. It was my pleasure to have you. The best of luck, not only for a year, for the presence here in Fronteira, but obviously for Dakar in the next season. Anytime, it was a pleasure for me. Thank you very much. Thank you.